You're watching ATN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we're going to do our review for the second episode of Game of Thrones. A very, very solid follow-up to the first episode. Start seeing things put into motion. Okay, we got Jamie Lannister obviously heading to get his daughter back, his and Cersei's. Still makes me cringe. Thought of that. The big thing here is Daenerys is struggling. She's really, really struggling. And, the thing of it is that even though she took the life of the slave in exchange for him killing her captive, it's not really going to do anything. It's fair. It's the right thing to do, I guess, but she's not going to earn anything from the Harpies. And now the slaves hate her. So she's got an uphill battle. And it was nice to see her dragon back. That was a touching moment in some weird kind of way. I mean, obviously, that dragon's very hostile. The black one is the most hostile one in the group. But you can tell it recognizes her. It knows her. It just doesn't respect her. There's no other way to put it. It's like, hey, Mom, how you doing? All right, I'm going to take off. And, she's got good counseling. I think Dario makes sense when he says the things he says to her. Obviously, the rest of her counsel, she's just in a tough position. And she, in her heart of hearts, she didn't want to murder that kid. We all know this. It was so obvious. She did it because she felt like she had to make sure she keeps her respect. So it's going to be interesting to see how things develop over there in Mereen. Speaking of which, obviously, Tyrion and Varys are on their way there. Tyrion's still in a bit of a funk, still has the blues. Hopefully that doesn't last too long. I like the old Tyrion, but the old Tyrion had money and had brothels to go to. This Tyrion doesn't. All he has is his wine. For Tyrion to feel complete, he has to have his wine, his brothels, and his gold. He's missing two. So I can understand his blues and his depression. But I'm still very much looking forward to when he actually, meets Daenerys and see how that kind of plays out. I'm sure she has no love for Lannisters, so I don't know how she's going to react to that. Now, up in the north is a big deal. Big deal. I kind of saw this coming. I felt good for Jon. Jon has done so much for the Night's Watch. I mean, he's really been a loyal, take my vows, take him seriously kind of guy. And I wanted him to accept Stannis' offer. So when he said no, I was like, oh, really? But I guess this is the second best thing. And what Sam said about him was just phenomenal. It was just the respect there. And then seeing the final vote go through, it was just, that was like icing on a cake. It was just great. And it was a great scene. That scene was just wonderful. I was so happy. What Sam said about, I think it was Sir Alistair, what he said about him was just hilarious. I was dying. and it's true. He was in the cupboard with Gilly and her kid, just squirming like a little bitch, and he called him on it. And, I love Sam. Sam is just awesome. So interesting to see how that's going to develop. There are people in the Night's Watch that don't like Jon Snow. Obviously, I think there's going to be some repercussions for that. So we'll see what happens with that. And of course, as I said last week, I was curious as to whether or not Stannis was going to hold Jon accountable. He really didn't do anything major. I think he kind of needs Jon right now because the wildlings are probably the only. Jon Snow's probably the only person that the wildlings may even listen to. Maybe. Both sides see him as a traitor, so he's kind of up shit's creek without a paddle in that sense. But Stannis needs him. Stannis needs him to try and be political, I guess, to some degree. But not only that, Jon Snow has honor. Jon Snow has bravery. Stannis, for better or worse, the kind of person he is, he admires that. And I think he wanted Stark to take, Stark. Well, he is a Stark, but he's, but I think he wanted Snow to take that offer. Obviously, he wants Snow on his side, on his team, but Jon has very strong convictions about his vows, and he was rewarded for that kind of conviction. He was rewarded for his commitment by being voted as the next master, so to speak. So interesting things going on in the north, interesting things going on in Mereen. Now we get to a King's Landing. Obviously, Cersei is doing all the political stuff for Tommen. He did not tell her to go and take care of it. I love the fact that her uncle stood up to her and basically just shitted on her whole world. I love that. And it kind of made me look at some of the other lesser Lannisters, for lack of a better term, look at them in such a way that maybe they're not exactly like Tywin or, Cersei or Jaime before he went through his, ordeal that gave him new revelations. He's he's a better person now than he was. Still not perfect, but he's a better person. And it's going to be interesting to see him and Braun going over to Dorne to see what's going to happen there, because quite frankly, Oberyn's ex is just furious. And the thing of it is, the king there makes perfect sense. It was a trial by combat. I understand she's hurt, but she's actually doing the very thing that Prince Oberyn probably wouldn't want her to do, which is, attempt to kill the Lannister daughter. And don't get me wrong, I get her point, but I think she's just kind of flying off the handle there. So we'll see, because, while there was a threat sent, of course, Jaime and Cersei don't know this, but they're not going to harm that little girl. No one's going to harm that little girl. But what's going to happen is, now that Jaime and Braun are going there, and if they successfully retrieve her, that's going to cause some problems. So, there's a lot of things looming. I mean, remember last season, Tywin told Cersei the gold is dry. They owe a shitload of money to the Iron Bank. So they're in debt with the Iron Bank. They're that whole thing with Dorne, once Jaime kidnaps the little girl, that's it. That's going to start a whole nother, possibly another war. Stannis, he's going to make his way south at some point. It's just so many things looming that it's like, wow, when's this shit going to go down? When's this shit going to go down? And I'm sure not all of it's going to go down right away, but a lot, the first episode was very good at planting some seeds. This episode did a very good job of progressing things forward. In some areas looked like it gave it quite a nudge, but now what's going to be the next move? Jon Snow's the leader of the Night's Watch. Stannis, once he gets the army that he needs, he wants to march south, take the north back, and continue into Westeros. Jaime and Braun, if and when they successfully rescue Jaime's daughter and Cersei's daughter, that's going to start a conflict with Dorne. I mean, I can just see it coming, man. Dorne from the south, Stannis from the north. Woo! And then here comes Daenerys from the sea. Wow. But that's probably a long time away, but that just kind of looks like what it's setting up for. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Arya, was great to see her again. I'm looking forward to her development into an assassin. I'm looking at it. She's got it. She's got the cold heart for it. You know what I mean? And, seeing her find... I always fuck this name up. Jaka Hagar. But anyway, you guys know who I'm talking about. But seeing her find him again was great. I actually liked him a couple of seasons ago for the short time that he was on the show. I did enjoy him. So it's nice to see him back on the show. It's nice to see her, I guess, kind of be somewhere safe. Now she's going to learn how to defend herself. She's going to learn some skills, some special skills. And I'm looking forward to how that's going to play out. And then finally, Brianne... she can't win. I don't understand why she didn't tell Sansa that she found Arya. She should have said that. She said, look, I found Arya. I guess it would have made her look worse, though, because she finds Arya and Arya is not there. So maybe it was best that she didn't tell her. But she's such a badass. I mean, she just took care of these guys. How that's going to roll, I don't know. She said she's going to follow them. I don't know what she expects to do. Sansa already turned her down. Littlefinger is going to try and get her killed. And Podrick needs to get a fucking sword. Let's keep it real. It's Podrick, man. You need a sword, brother. But a lot of good stuff. I'm looking forward to the next episode. What's going on in Mereen is going to be real serious. Will Brianne successfully follow and perhaps change Sansa's mind? Will Jaime and Braun successfully rescue his and Cersei's daughter? Will Daenerys be at least warm to the idea of Tyrion? I don't think so at first, but maybe Varys can convince her otherwise. A lot of things going down. And then the north. Let's see how Jon Snow does as the leader of the Night's Watch. And let's see if that war that heads south, that Stannis wants to start, let's see if that kicks off. Anyway, guys, that's it for this review. This is Rob signing off for ETN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching ETN. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Join the nation's Facebook page to meet other subscribers or visit ETN's Facebook page and Twitter page. Links for all are in the description. You're watching ETN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we're going to do our review for the second episode of Game of Thrones. A very, very solid follow-up to the first episode. Start seeing things put into motion. Okay, we got Jaime Lannister obviously heading to get his daughter back, his and Cersei's. Still makes me cringe. Thought of that. The big thing here is Daenerys is struggling. She's really, really struggling. And, the thing of it is that even though she took the life of the slave in exchange for him killing her captive, it's not really going to do anything. You know, it's fair. It's the right thing to do, I guess, but she's not going to earn anything from the Harpies. And now the slaves hate her. So she's got an uphill battle. And it was nice to see her dragon back. That was a touching moment in some weird kind of way. I mean, obviously that dragon's very hostile. The black one is the most hostile one in the group, but you could tell it recognizes her. It knows her. It just doesn't respect her. There's no other way to put it. You know, it's like, hey mom, how you doing? All right, I'm going to take off. And you know, she's got good